Hello again YouTube, this is Pure230688 aka BW Angelos, and I'll be bringing you a 4v4 commentary video on the Finland map, which has been nominated for Worst Map of the Year award by the Empire Total War players. Now there is no such awards really, but if there was it would be right up there with the worst maps on the game. And as there's only like two, then there's not much competition really. Anyway, I play on Team 1 along with this guy, and yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. He has plonked his entire army onto one hill, and the size of the area he's actually plonked his men onto is probably no larger than a fridge. So you've got 800 men all piled onto one area. He said that was of vital tactical importance, that small knoll. Little did he know it's only about 2 meters higher than your average human, and offers absolutely no protection whatsoever. So if he had stayed there, he would have got slaughtered. So I argued with him for about 5 seconds until he realised that I was not an idiot, and then he decided to come off the hill. But he still makes about a million other mistakes, and luckily for me he quits and the AI takes over. And thankfully the AI is better than him, so that doesn't show much for what he was like, eh? Okay, Aleron brings in a quick strike in on the green jackets, who are opposing my and Khan's army. Khan does not bring any light infantry at all. Very, very annoying. And then Aleron demonstrates the ideal way to get your entire cavalry force slaughtered in the matter of seconds, without really the enemy having to do anything other than sit there and laugh. Okay, so he charges both of his cavalry units, who have just come from dealing with the green jackets, straight into a load of stakes, which gets them all skewered, and then the surviving horsemen either flee or attack the Russian horsemen who are waiting for them and cackling, watching how stupid the Swedes are being. Okay, this is Khan, and he hasn't quit yet. This is actually how he was playing, so when he does quit, you'll never see a dramatic change between how he and the AI plays, because they both play in a similar fashion, which doesn't say much for how Khan plays, frankly, does it? Okay, I'm bringing up 2 Garde du Corps units here, and I could see a gap for the trees, and thought I could see some green jacket units that needed killing, so I charged through the trees, and instead I bumped straight into a Black Watch unit, which I couldn't see because, I mean, how am I supposed to see anything in those trees? I mean, you need like a napalm to clear them, or you need like an army of hedge trimmers, because there's so many trees, it just makes it so difficult to see anything. Anyway, while all that's happening, the Dutch guy has sallied forth from the trees to attack my skirmishers. Luckily for me, though, he aged me out here. He has 2 units of riflemen behind and 1 unit in front, and that unlucky 1 unit gets fire from both my units and his. His units shoot it in the back, and my units shoot it in the front. But as he's aiding me, I'm not going to criticise that move. That's a very good move by my opponent. It helps me out greatly. Okay, you can also see this is the ideal way of moving through stakes. Okay, when the sharp pointy end is poking at you, you don't want to move through it, and when the sharp pokey end is pointing away from you, you can move through it with ease. So if the stakes are pointing away from your units, you can move through them and attack enemy units if they're on that side. Okay, the Dutch guy is using the trees to hide some of his units and slow me down while he takes on the AI, because Khan has now quit. And like I said, you can't tell that because the AI starts to fight exactly like Khan was, bunching all of his units up into one mass and them all shooting each other in the back. So like I was saying, you can't really tell that Khan has even quit. Okay, well, the Dutch guy on the hill there is attacking the AI in the flank, but I attack him in the flank with a line infantry unit. But because he has the high ground, I'm shooting most of my volleys into the ground, but it's the best thing I can do at the moment. Okay, after my attack on the green jacket units in the trees, I move my cavalry out, and they'll be being used again in a second. Okay, these are the Dutch guys, and frankly they're the only elite unit that I actually rate in the game, to be honest, since the 3rd patch. The new Dutch Blue Guard, well, they're all blue. The blue men. All of the blue men for the Dutch are good, but all the other factions' elite units, I don't really see them as being any good, to be honest. Or maybe the Swiss Guard for the French, but yeah, that's about it, really. Anyway, after successfully destroying the Dutchman in the forest, I'm pushing through and getting around the flank. Anyway, meanwhile, the cavalry that went in to attack those green jackets back in the wood have now found some others that needed killing. This is a demonstration of how stupid the AI is. It's prioritised Aleron's general, who is about 20 miles away, or something ridiculous, way back in the corner of the map, and it's prioritised him as a target, and has sent over 2 green jacket units without any support whatsoever. So all I'm going to do is just take him out with cavalry. And they're also sending a black watch unit over, not to support his green jackets, but to also go after the general as well. Anyway, here I'm just using the AI as a meat shield, and I'll let him take all the bullets while I've got a Prussian unit there trying to weaken those blue men, because the blue men are so damn tough, it's unbelievable. They take a heck of a lot of bullets to kill them. It's like they got hit points or something. Anyway, here you can see the blue men are firing on the Can's AI at the moment, so I am not getting any return fire. Anyway, because I was focusing on that, I did not notice this until too late. He sends 2 units of Garde du Corps around, and it pulverises some of my Prussian Jaegers, some of which die in the most horrendous of fashions, like that guy. Anyway, to counter that, I charged 2 of my line infantry units in, and I quickly formed them into squares to get the cavalry stuck, and duly they do get stuck. Here I'm going to have to pull that unit out because the blue men have now killed all of the AI single-handedly. There they are, they're all running off now. Meanwhile, back in this direction, my squares have done enough to slow his cavalry down, and my Jaegers, my surviving ones, ran off and are turning round to open fire on his horse guards, or Garde du Corps, or whatever you want to call them. I'm now going to form my textbook right-angle trap formation. Well, I haven't got a good name for that formation at the moment, but right-angle trap formation is the only thing I could think of. Anyway, basically I have 1 unit in front, pinning them. I then have a second unit on the side to attack them in the flank, and that forms a right angle, and whoever's caught in the right angle gets slaughtered. It's textbook and it never fails. So that is what I call it, and I don't have a proper name for it. So anyway, turning 2 units round on both sides and keeping 1 behind to deal with the Dutch infantry, just to make sure they don't come and attack me in the rear while I'm doing this. I pull my Jaegers behind my front line. The cavalry are still locked onto them and run back into my field of fire, and they fall into a nice little trap for me there. And basically they all get slaughtered apart from a few lucky survivors, frankly. Okay, on this side, Aleron and Knight are not doing too well against Russia and France. Aleron's having to form a defensive ring because he made the fatal mistake of turning too many troops to deal with the AI units that were getting behind him to deal with his general. Should have realised that the AI is a bit simple and it's not going to cause him too much damage. Anyway, here you can see my general getting in the middle of things. Usually my general's a pansy, but here he's not there. Look at that. He's just there in the funny hat. Just having a nice old sword play with that. But the main reason I showed you this was this animation. You see the animation there? The guy gets flung off the horse and then boom, gets teleported to the other side so the other guy can slash him with his saber. So that's one of the more brilliant animations that Empire Total War has to offer. Yeah, if you're a regular watcher of my videos, you'll know how much I love the animations for the game. Anyway, the first part is ending just after I charge my cavalry here and do absolutely nothing apart from getting them all killed. Anyway, stay tuned for part 2 where we find out what happened.